Hi, I'm Jan from the upcoming. Pleasure speaking to you. Hi, Eddie.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All good.
Jason Statham's character is an ex-Marine. And how did you work on the film's choreography in the context of his past and skills?
Well, it all starts out with David Ayers, the writer, with Sylvester Stallone. And if you know David Ayers and you know Sylvester Stallone, they love fights and choreographing, big, fighting 10, 20 people at one time. So how that all comes out to, it's all written down on paper. Then it gets to me as the stunt coordinator, and I get a fight team together, and then we try to get those fights of how from point A to point B, how he's going to get there. And we decide how many people we're going to fight against. So once that's all together, then we start choreographing. And sure enough, like I said, like Jason himself, he likes to be involved. So he comes up with some ideas, and then we involve that. We get it approved by David Ayer, our director, and then we start choreographing it again. So there's from the day of putting it all together to the day on the camera, it's probably been changed about 20 times, and we just make it and blend it to exactly what David Ayers is seeing and visioning in his head. And so that's how so it's just little by little, we work it through, and nothing ever happens like that.
And did the fact that you know both Jason and David allow you to be more confident while working on the film?
Absolutely. I had the privilege of working with David and Jason, many other films, that they believe in me and they believe in my fight team. So usually they said, this is what I want. I want them to get from here to there. You come up with it. And then I'll come up with something. And then again, like I said, we all throw in our little inputs and then we make it right for everybody.
Is there something that you're like particularly proud of in the film, like maybe a sequence or like a
Yes,
part?
you know what? Uh, you know, David Harris has got a lot on his plate, and sometimes there's so much that we're running behind. So he will hand me the camera, and I will run and do second unit. And usually it's all action. So I had the privilege and very proud that on this movie I did a lot of action directing for Jason, and it was all because of David Harris believed in me. And so, the bike chase scene and stuff like that, that was all me. And, of course, David, we have storyboards that we have to follow, and we just added it all together, and there we go. So I'm pretty proud that I had second unit directing on this movie, and it looks pretty good.
And how does film, stand out from other action-packed titles you worked on?
You know what? This is Jason Statham. He's always in a predicament, and he's always got to get out of it. So, I just love that. What we do is we change up some of the styles of fighting. So we never just do the same. So like we did at last movie, The Beekeeper. It was more, a lot of hand techniques, a lot of quick movements, a lot of disassembling weapons. And this one here, it was more like a Rambo type, like he has to barrel through and fight through these people. So we do change up the styles of fight, and depends on the story of what David created. So to me, I think we could do anything as different styles in fight, and I think doing that changes up and gives other people that you're just not a kung fu man or a more of a street fighter. You mix it all together. What his background is in the movie. We added that to that technique to also. So I love the challenge.
And before we wrap up, what was the biggest challenge for you while working on the Working Man?
Well, the biggest challenge on working on the Working Man is we were shooting it in UK, London, and you guys get a lot of rain. So doing the bike chase was one challenge. I mean, we sometimes we couldn't shoot because it was just too much. Everything turned to mud. But the challenge was there, and to see the crew are amazing over there. They were just, we all went home full of mud. Put it that way. We all put our hands into what needs to be moved. Hey, we need to put a ramp here. Hey, we need to cut this, drag this tree over here. Hey, this car got stuck. Everybody gets in there. We pulled the car out, but we continued on and we got a lot of good stuff. And, David Ayers loves the rain, dark and smoky. So kind of worked out for the film.